So yeah, we've been talking about this. Right now there's the World Cup that's going on, and many people, many of our students have been very excited watching, talking about it, and they want to learn how to talk to other people about the World Cup. So that's what we are going to do today. This is a lesson all about talking about football. Now, let's start right there and discuss the word soccer and the word football. So we know that American English, they like to use the term soccer. We don't use that in the rest of the world. We say football. So today I'm going to use the word football anytime we're talking about soccer, but just know that Americans, they're very slow to catch up right now. Yeah, so let's talk about football. Let me open up my whiteboard here. And the first question that I want to ask you guys is, where do you guys can use the chat to talk to me? I want to know, where do you guys watch football? I know a lot of you are watching the World Cup, and it's weird because depending on what time zone you're in. So I'm currently in Taipei, Taiwan, and in Taipei, Taiwan, we because the World Cup is being held in the United States, that means that the games are on very late at night here. Let's go to today's lesson. There we go. Yeah, here we go. So where do you watch the World Cup? Maybe you can tell me in the chat. Where do you watch the World Cup? So right now, I'm in Taipei, Taiwan. I watch it here on the left. This is my home. As you can see, there's all these toys in my living room where my daughter plays, but I'm watching the game. Fortunately for me, I can watch quietly because my daughter is sleeping, so I don't need to worry too much about that. She's sleeping, so I can watch the games peacefully. But I have to stay very quiet. I can't be too loud. But also, if I'm watching it at home late at night, it means that my friends aren't there. I can't watch it with people. So a little bit of the excitement is lost. Another question I want to ask you guys is, what do you do when your team scores? So if you're supporting one team and they score, what do you do? Do you jump up? Do you yell? Do you high five? What do you do? I get very excited, but again, I'm watching it at home alone, so it's very hard to get that excited. Usually I check my phone to see what my friends are saying because I'm chatting with them while we are watching the game. On the right, what you see is you see a picture of me a couple years ago with my daughter and someone else. So I'm usually, for the World Cup, I am watching it. I prefer to watch the World Cup. Um, uh, I prefer watching the World Cup in a bar. I prefer watching the World Cup with friends somewhere out. That's what I prefer. Doesn't always happen. I can't always do that. But that's what I prefer. I would like to watch the World Cup out with friends. It's more exciting in a crowded place. So let's jump straight into the vocab for today's lesson. Okay, so the words that you need to know if you want to talk about football with people. The first word that you should know is prediction. Prediction means it's your guess. It's what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen? That is your prediction. What do you think will happen? My prediction is that Brazil will win 2-0. That is your prediction. So we have a couple of games going on tonight. Most excitingly, I think we have that Portugal game that's happening. Portugal versus Uzbekistan. Ronaldo is very eager to score a goal, so I think they will win 2-1. 2-1. That's how I say it. 2-0. Let me write that down for you. That's how you say the score. Number and then 2 number. Number and then 2 numbers. So I think they will win 2-0 or maybe 2-1. Hopefully Uzbekistan can score. I definitely think that Portugal will score more goals because they scored nothing last time. So my prediction, your prediction is your guess on what will happen. You can use this word for many things. Maybe tomorrow. I predict it will rain tomorrow. If you think it is going to rain tomorrow, you can say that is your prediction. Your prediction that it's going to rain tomorrow. So hopefully it will. Hopefully it will not rain. So I guess I should say my prediction is that it won't rain tomorrow. Maybe that's what I need to say. It won't rain tomorrow. That is my prediction. It will not rain tomorrow. I don't think it's going to rain tomorrow. Okay, the score. So, my wife watches the game, but she's usually just on her phone, not really paying attention to the game. So she'll look at the game and she'll say, oh, what is the score? Or the game finished, and what was the score? The score is the number of goals that each team has. So the score is 1-1, or the score is 2-0, 0-2, whatever the number should be. Yeah, that is the score, the number of goals that we have. So goals is another one. When a team scores, they score a goal. Equalizer, we also have an equalizer. So sometimes one of the things that I love about soccer, and I have some students that aren't really soccer fans. They don't really like football, or they don't really understand football. But when it comes to the World Cup, because everyone is so excited, they watch it. So they ask me, how can I get more involved or excited about it? Well, I say, we usually got to pick a team that you like. For whatever reason, pick a team that you like and you support that team. As you can see, I am wearing my Bolivia jersey. No, don't ask me. We did not make it to the World Cup. We were close. We had one game, and we had to win this one game against Iraq. If we won that game, we go to the World Cup. If we lose that game, we don't go to the World Cup. So the winner goes to the World Cup. So it's either going to be us, Bolivia, or Iraq. Iraq beat us 2-1. The last 30 minutes of the game, when they were beating us 2-1, I was hoping for an equalizer. The score is 2-1. I was hoping for Bolivia to score one more goal. That goal would be the equalizer. It's a goal that makes the score equal. So we'd call that an equalizer. So waiting for an equalizer, or when that happens, it is very, very exciting for an equalizer. Yeah, the team scored an equalizer in the second half. Okay, so football is separated into 2 parts, right? You have your first half, and then you have the second half. The first half is 45 minutes, right? That's when they play. And then they take a break, like a 10-minute break, and then they start the second half. So total is 90 minutes, 45 and 45. That would be the first half, and that would be the second half. Right now, because the stupid FIFA FIFA is the company that organizes the soccer rules around the world. They're a very greedy company. They have these hydration breaks that you're probably hearing about. And my students ask me, well, what is that? Hydration. Hydration is just a fancy word that means drink water. Hydration, right? So this is my water break, or my hydration break. But usually football doesn't have any hydration breaks. I mean, if it's very hot, sometimes they do a 1 to 3 minute game. That's a new thing that they're doing now. But right now they're just doing it because they want to show more ads. So it's stupid. Everyone hates it. So make sure to boo when the hydration break comes. Yeah. Number four. Penalty. Okay, so last night Messi had a chance to shoot a penalty, and he didn't. He missed his penalty. Very, very sad that he missed the penalty. Penalty is a free shot. It's a free shot at goal after a foul. So soccer or football has this, it's played on the pitch. The pitch is the grass that they play on. We call that the pitch. And the pitch has two squares, two rectangles on either side for the goalie. Right? The goalie is the guy with the gloves who can touch the ball with his hands. He has a box. And in his box, he can run anywhere in that box and use his hand. Right? He has that right. He can use his hand anywhere inside the box. Outside that box, he cannot use his hands. If another team causes a foul inside that box, the player gets a penalty, which is a free shot at the goal after a foul. So it's just him standing there shooting it. PK, basically. The referee awarded a penalty, and last night Messi missed a penalty, which was very, was a little sad, very unfortunate that he missed a penalty. Who awards that penalty? Well, we call that person the referee. Usually wear black and white stripes, but now they have different colored uniforms. He is the official who controls the game. So he watches the game, he controls the time, he says when there's a foul, when there's a penalty, when there are issues, and most importantly, he gives a yellow card or a red card. Yellow card is a warning, is you did a foul, it was a very hard foul. Red card means you have to leave, you cannot continue playing the game. We would call that yellow foul, yellow card and red card. The referee has those in his pocket, he can tell you to give them. Number 6, this is our job. Okay, our job is very, very important as fans of football, as spectators. Spectators is another way to say soccer, as spectators. Our job as fans is to cheer for our team, to be very, very loud and cheer for our team. That is our job. That is what we need to do, right? When you shout very loud to support your team, we are fans, right? And that's kind of what I want all of you guys to think about now when you are watching these games. Don't be passive. Don't just sit there and just watch for what's going on. I want you to be loud. I want you to support, and I want you to cheer for your team. Cheer to support and loud. The fans cheer loudly after the goal. So if you notice something when you watch some of these teams, they cheer very loud, right? They cheer very, very loud. And sometimes they have chants. They have special chants for their team, right? They have special chants for their team, right? I'm not going to say them because sometimes they use a lot of bad words in their chants. But it's very exciting because they're very, very passionate. Norway has a great chant where they row. They act like they're rowing a boat. That's a great chant. Australia has lots of chants that yell. England has lots of chants that they yell. So it's very, very exciting when I see all these teams just chant and use lots of chants. And so, yeah, so it's very, very exciting to see that. So cheer, cheer. When you go see your country, when you go see wherever you're from, when you go see them, please cheer very, very loudly. We want you. We need to support them. We need to be that, in football, they have 11 players on a team, right? 10 players plus the goalie, right? So 11 versus 11. Sometimes they call the 12th man. 12th man. The 12th man. Oh, spectators, yeah. Spectators, fans. People who are watching the game are called spectators. Sometimes fans are called the 12th man, right? Because you're that extra person that's there to support and to cheer for your team. So we need to be that 12th man and support our team. Yeah. However, I support my team. I'm a big fan of my team. Obviously, I still wear their uniform. My daughter, my daughter also wears their uniform. Often, she wears their uniform a lot. We really support our team, right? But they're not winning. And when they lose, it is very disappointing. Disappointing right here. It's very disappointing. When our team loses, oh, I don't use smart triangles. Let's use purple, yeah. Disappointing. Disappointing. When our team is losing, it is very disappointing. And as much as I love Bolivia, I love my team, I'm very disappointed, and it is very disappointing. It's not as good as I expected. I went to see them play in Japan last summer. It was disappointing. I wanted them to win. I wanted them to be strong, but they look very weak. We lost 3-0. Then I watched them play in Mexico, and again, they couldn't beat Iraq. They couldn't go to the World Cup. So it was very disappointing. The result was disappointing. So when something happens and you think something good's going to happen and it's not good, it's bad, we are disappointed. It was disappointing. I felt disappointed. Right? I was disappointed. It was disappointing. The thing that we're talking about, the game, was disappointing. Or how you felt. I was disappointed. I was disappointed. Last night, Argentina won. It was good. But when your team loses, it is disappointing. It is disappointing. All right, let's continue. The next word, maybe the opposite of disappointing, exciting. When you're a fan of a team, and when they score that equalizer, they're losing 2-1, and then they score that goal to equalize, to tie the game up, to give your team life. It is very exciting, very interesting, very enjoyable. It was an exciting match. That's what we want. That's what we like, right? It is exciting. There's a famous clip right now of a Japanese fan being interviewed in the U.S. And I love that clip because he says, like, I'm sorry, my English is not good, but how does he feel? Excited. And that's why we love the World Cup, because it is very, very exciting. Even if you're not a football fan, it's exciting. And if you are a football fan, it's even more exciting. So I hope one day Bolivia can get back to the World Cup. I live in Taiwan, so obviously I hope Chinese Taipei can one day go to the World Cup. If there's anything we learned from Cabo Verde and their exciting story about them at the World Cup, and so far being unbeaten in the World Cup, they tied both games against Spain and Uruguay. Hopefully they can win the next game to get their first win at the World Cup. That anything is possible. It doesn't matter how big or small of a nation you are. Their support. Fans need to support your team, and we can do that, right? So hopefully Chinese Taipei can get back there. Hopefully Bolivia can get back there also. Yeah, we don't need to get into why they're called Chinese Taipei. Maybe that's for another political class, not for a football, soccer class. 9, a draw. A draw is when both teams score the same number of goals, or both teams score nothing, 0. Sometimes they say nil for 0. They say, what was the score? Nil, nil. Nil is another way to say 0, 0. When a game ends, when the score for both teams is the same, the match ended in a draw. Right now, the World Cup is split into 2 parts: the group stages and then the tournament, right? The group stages, you can have a draw because they're playing for how many points they can get. 3 points for a win, 1 point for a draw, no points for a loss. And whoever has the most points, they move on to the tournament, right? In the tournament, there is no draw. You play 90 minutes. If it's still 0-0, if it's still the same, if it's still a draw after 90 minutes, then they go to sudden death, where they play an extra 30 minutes to see if one team can score. If it's still a draw after 30 minutes, then they go to penalty kicks. Very exciting. Comeback. Oh, so earlier I taught the word equalizer, right? So your team is losing 2-1. Then you score the equalizer, right? You score that second goal. So now it's 2-2. You have the equalizer. It's a draw. And then your team that before was losing 2-1, then you score again. And now you're winning 3-2. We call that a, read that word with me, comeback. When a team recovers and starts winning the game after losing, we would call that a comeback. Excellent. All right, so these are great words that you should know when talking about football with people. Prediction, score, equalizer, penalty, referee, cheer, disappointing, exciting, draw, and finally comeback. We like that. All right. Well, let's see how well you know these words. Let's jump in with this fill in the blank. So here's the word bank. Here's the word bank. These are the words we should know. And here are some sentences. So let's try using these words in a sentence. Yeah, let's do that. Word bank. A, let's see. Can anyone help me? Who's here? Let me check out everyone watching class. Okay. Hi, everyone. You can write in the comments to ask me any questions you need. No? Okay. No questions so far. Good. A, my blank is that Spain will win. All right. So I think Spain is going to win. That is my, which of these words up there? You guys know. My referee. Prediction, right? Your guess of what you think is going to happen, your prediction. My prediction is that Spain will win. Good. B, let's see if we can do B. B. The blank gave a yellow card to the player. Whose job is it on the field to make sure everyone's obeying the rules, everyone's following the rules, and if you don't, you get a yellow card or a red card. Whose job is that? Nice. Referee. The referee gave a yellow card to the player. See? Everyone started to blink after a goal. What happens when your team scores a goal? cheer. When you cheer, you're just yelling very loud, giving lots of support and energy to your team. Ooh, D, the final. The final was what? The final. It was 3. Remember how to read this? 3, 2, 2. So the final was what? The final score. So it asked, what is the score, or what was the score? When the game finished, they said, oh, did you see the game? What was the score? We would say that the score was, the final was 3 to 2. E, the game ended in a blank. So the game ends. Both teams have the same score. What do we call that? We call that a draw. The draw. The game ended in a draw when both teams, have the same score. We call that a draw. Okay, good. We have a draw right there. Ooh, 5 more words. F, the striker. He scored a blank in the 80th minute. Oh, I didn't go over player positions. So we have many names for player positions, right? We already talked about a goalie, right? In front of the goalie, we have the defenders, whose job is to defend, making sure people don't score. We call them the defenders. In the middle, we have midfielders. They stand in the middle. And in the very front, we have forward or striker, right? Forward, they play up. They try to score. A striker, his job is only to score, right? The striker, he scored. He scored for his team. He scored in the 88th minute, right at the very end. It's very exciting. His team was losing, and then he comes back and he scores. He scores a what? What do we call that goal that we score to come back and win the game? We call that an equalizer. Equalizer. He scored an equalizer in the 88th minute. Ooh, the team received a blank after a foul, after the foul. So they get a foul and then they get hurt. They receive a what? Okay. They receive a penalty, a foul inside the box. They get this penalty kick. Yeah, because there was a foul there. We would call that a foul. Nice. All right, next we have a H. It was an blank match from start to finish. It was a what match? Exciting match, right? So right now they're in the group stages. They just finished, they're in the middle of the second round, right? So the group stages, each group has 4 teams. So each team plays 3 times, right? They play against each other, right? First stage, second stage, third stage. So the third stage is the last game of the group. Oh, those games are very exciting because many teams have to win. They have to win or they go home. They don't advance to the tournament. So the next round will be very, very exciting. And then it gets even more and more exciting as teams get eliminated. Because in the tournament, once you lose, you go home. You're out. Losing 4-0 was very what? Disappointing. Yeah. Very, very disappointing when your team loses 4-0 it is very disappointing. Makes me very sad to know that we're losing 4-0. So sad. Okay. Very disappointing. The team made a great break in the second half. Oh, we're losing in the first half, and then we go into the second half, and then we come out winning, right? We're playing much better. Game gets very, very exciting. We would say that is a comeback. We made a comeback. All right. One more test for these. Let's see how well you know the words. Let's move into the matching. There's a word here on the left, an expression, synonym, or definition on the right. Let's see if we can match them. Number 1, prediction. What does prediction mean? Prediction. Can you tell me what does prediction mean? Prediction. A, B, C theory. What is prediction? It's a guess about the future. We think this team's going to win. I think Portugal is going to win today. That is my prediction. That is what I think is going to happen. My prediction. Draw. What is a draw? Give you guys a second to think about it. What is a draw? Game ending in equal scores. That is a draw. You want to see? You want to say hi? All right, my daughter wants to say hi. We're talking about soccer, talking about football. Do you play soccer?
Yeah.
Do you play football? Yes. Do you like to play?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a working today.
Yeah, today we did not play soccer.
Yeah.
She doesn't like speaking much English. All right, are you going to play soccer tomorrow?
Yeah.
All right, we'll go play. We'll go play football tomorrow, okay?
I'll say hi.
Okay, say hi. Say hi. Can you read this word?
No.
Yeah, let's try. Prediction.
Dash.
Good. Draw.
So.
Penalty.
Penalty.
Referee. Comeback. Yay. Bolivia is going to win. Can you say Bolivia is going to win?
Yes.
Say it. Bolivia is going to win.
What?
Yeah, they're going to win. Okay, thank you. Okay, go play with your Labubu and your Kuromi. All right. Future World Cup star. Just wait and see. Penalty. Penalty is a free shot after a foul. But we got to remember, penalty is not just a free shot. Sometimes you have what's called a free kick. If it's a foul outside the box, then it's a free kick. It's a foul. If it's a foul inside the box, then it's a penalty. So you got to be clear about that. When you do a penalty, there's nobody can stand in your way. It's just you and the goalkeeper taking a shot. When it's a free kick, they can build a wall. They can stand there to try to stop it. Referee. Oh, that's another way to describe this. A game official. He is the game official. So the person who kind of watches the game, we can call them the referee. The referee, yeah, he is the game official. I'm going to start right there. Boom. Yeah, that's important. I want you guys to remember that. The game official. And then the comeback to return to a winning position. So you're in a losing position, and then you return to a winning position. Then that is the comeback. All right. So let's talk about watching a match together, because because right now I'm in Taiwan. I said I'm just show you right here. Where's the picture? I used to watch with friends, even bring the kids along. It's very, very exciting. But now I'm just watching at home. So sad. I want to go watch with friends. So let's watch the match together. I'm going to talk about my friend Kevin, who lives in Danshui. Kevin, shout out to you. My soccer buddy over there. All right, Kevin, let's talk about the game. Last Saturday, Kevin invited 3 friends to his house. to watch an important World Cup match. Everyone was excited before the game started. They ordered pizza, prepared snacks, and talked about their predictions. Yeah, usually in my chat, I always ask, "Oh, who do you think is going to win?" And we make predictions. We try to guess the score. Before kickoff is when the game starts. Before kickoff, Kevin predicted that his team would win 2-1. But Sarah, his friend Sarah, disagreed. Said, "No, I thought the match would end in a draw." During the first half, both teams played well, but nobody scored. So it was a 0-0 draw in the first half. But then the second half, one team scored a goal after a penalty. The fans in Kevin's living room cheered loudly. 10 minutes later, the other team scored an equalizer, making the score 1-1. The match became even more exciting near the end. With only a few minutes remaining, Kevin's team scored again. Everyone jumped from their seats and celebrated. Sarah smiled and admitted defeat. "I admit defeat." She admitted that Kevin's prediction was almost correct, right? 2-1. After the match, it was correct. Yeah, Kevin's prediction was correct, 2-1. After the match, the friends discussed the referee's decision, like the penalty kick. We're always attacking the referee, saying the referee made a bad decision. We're always complaining about them. We talked about who the best players were and the final result. They agreed it was one of the most exciting matches of the tournament. Very, very exciting. All right, so I have some questions for you guys based on this. So I'm going to ask you, and you try to answer them. Where did Kevin and his friends watch the match? Can you guys let me know? Where did they watch the match? Where did they watch the match? Where did they watch the match? They watched the match at Kevin's house, right? They went to his house to watch the match. Number 2, what was Kevin's prediction? His prediction, his guess about who is going to win, what was going to happen. What was his prediction? Well, he said they would win 2-1, right? That was his prediction, 2-1. Number 3, what did Sarah think would happen, right? His friend Sarah disagreed with him. Zero, right? She predicted a draw. 0-0, 1-1, 2-2. She thought it would be a draw. What does it say? Sarah disagreed and thought the match would end in a draw. You see, it's right here. Thought the match would end in a draw. Question number 4. How was the first goal scored? The first goal was it a free kick? Was it an exciting goal? Was it a header? It was a penalty. It was a penalty, right? In the second half, one team scored after a penalty. Final question. Why did the friends enjoy the match? Why did they enjoy the match? It was one of the most exciting matches. It was exciting, right? It was one of the most exciting matches, so they enjoyed the match. Even though they complained about the referee's decision, it was an exciting match. One of the things that you must learn when you are talking about football and just about sports in general, that it's okay to disagree. In fact, That disagreement about who's going to win or who's a better player is what makes the game more exciting to watch as a spectator, as a fan. It is okay to agree and disagree. It's okay for you to support one team and I support another team. We don't have to be on the same team. That's fun too, but when there's competition, that makes the game much more exciting. So don't be afraid to disagree when talking about sports. Some of the expressions that I want you to learn for agreeing is I agree, you are right, that is true. That's true. These are expressions that we use when we agree. Argentina is a great team. I agree. Ronaldo is a great player. You are right. Messi's better than Ronaldo. That is true. You agree. But if you don't really agree, don't lie to me just to try to be my friend or anything, right? Actually, like tell me your honest opinion. We want to know. We're curious about what you think. It's okay to disagree. I don't agree. I'm not sure about that. I see it differently, right? So I'm going to go call up Arnaud right now. He is a former French teacher. And we're going to talk about Mbappe versus Messi. Uh, Messi will score more goals than Mbappe, right? Right now, Messi is the World Cup leader. If you ask Arnaud, he will say, I don't agree. Messi's a better player. What's Arnaud going to say? I'm not sure about that. Argentina will repeat and win the World Cup this year. I see it differently. We love Arnaud, but we're always going to disagree on that. That is okay. All right. So, what do you think? Some people say Brazil played very well in their last game. They won. What is it? What do we say here? Blink, they were excellent. So A said they played well. You think they played excellent. We say, yeah, that's true. They were excellent. You agree with this person. The referee made the right decision, but you think it was a mistake. So what do you say? I'm not sure about that. You disagree with that. Maybe he says, actually, let me remove. I don't like the letters there. It's tricking me. Let's make this easier for us to see. Okay, that makes it easier for us to see. Boom. Okay. This one, number 3 down here. That was an exciting match. I really enjoyed it. Is that agree or disagree? You agree. So I agree. You are right. My team will win easily. The other team is also strong. Is that agree or disagree? I see it differently. The other team is also strong. That striker, Ronaldo, is the best player. He scored 2 goals. Messi was the best player. He scored 2 goals. You're right. That's true. Okay. So say you agree and disagree. And then most importantly, the thing that everyone always misses, because sometimes people, when I'm talking to them, I say something like, oh, he's a great player. And they say, that's true. That's right. They just say yes. Add your opinion. Tell me something extra. They were excellent. He scored 2 goals. The team is also strong. It was a mistake. Tell me if you agree or disagree. Let's just have a nice conversation about that. Sometimes I will yell back at you. You're crazy. You're wrong, blah, blah. Get back in my face and defend your position. Well, anytime we're talking about football, we're very passionate. We're very excited. So it's okay to disagree with me. Okay? I talked too long. I want to break off into groups for the students that joined us today on Vine Dots. Thank you, guys. Let's break off into groups, and I want to get your opinion. Actually, I don't have too many people here today. Let's see what we got. Okay, let's break off into groups, and then I want to hear what you guys think. Do you enjoy watching football with friends? What snacks do you usually eat while watching sports? What is the most exciting match you have ever watched? Have you ever celebrated a last minute goal? Do you usually make predictions before games? How do you react when your team loses? Have you ever disagreed with the referee's decision? Which football player do you enjoy watching the most? What makes a football match exciting? Do you prefer watching matches at home or in a stadium, go seeing it live? Whew. Let me just share with you guys how Vine students use these discussion questions. So typically I have the class and then we break off into groups the last 30 minutes and then we have a discussion about this. And I hear you guys' opinion and I correct your English and we discuss. We have a great time talking about this because I love hearing you guys speak and hearing your opinion. That's one way to use this. If you don't have that, prepare yourself. Write down these questions and think how you would answer these questions if someone asked these questions to you. That's another way to prepare. So you can discuss with us. You can prepare the answers by yourself. That's another way our students learn using our discussion questions. Or you can pick some of these questions that you think are good questions and then discuss with someone. Talk to someone about at work or maybe an English teacher or maybe one-on-one classes, or just find the time to discuss these. That's how our students use our discussion questions to improve their English. So we're going to break off into groups right now. I want to hear your guys' opinion on all of this. Let me close the whiteboard. Excellent. All right. So that is what we'll do. I want to thank you guys for joining us. This topic is very, very exciting. We're going to do it again. So I'm going to see you all tomorrow at 8 p.m. and we're going to continue talking about World Cup English. So I'm Russ. Thank you guys. Enjoy tonight's match. Bye-bye. Thank you. Boom.